Howdy-ho, folks. Welcome back to the Brinx podcast. My name is Ryan McNeil.
I'm Michael Frieri.
And, you know, sometimes you just got to hit them with another hodgepodge collage.
You do. That you do.
That you do.
We're back.
We're back in the studio, you know, playing around with it a little more.
Different angle.
Different angle, babe. We're looking at you over here now. You get to see some of the outside. You've never seen the outside before. You just might see yourself on this episode of the Brinx podcast. You never know.
Hey,
you never know. But without the lights, you know, you kind of got to get creative. And,
yeah.
Unfortunately. So
maybe hopefully this is a little more pleasing.
Yes, this is a little more dynamic. And just as we speak, a tour will pass.
Oh.
Yes. I think
do we tell them to come here? Do we tell them not to come here?
I think I'll tell you, go where you want to go. I'm not going to motivate you to go to Sacred Heart over any other university, quite frankly. It's
No, I really feel
it
like
is a school. It is a school.
I really feel like a zoo exhibit now, just like on the other side of the glass.
Yeah, I know. They're just peering, and sometimes they stop and just look at you. Sometimes you just got to give them a little peace sign and keep moving.
Go nears.
Yes, but without the lights, we have also decorated today with a honors cord I received as graduation approaches. And if you think I'm showing off, I only have one honors cord. Mikey has two.
Yeah, yes.
Mikey.
And we will both be having that great big medal.
Yes, we'll have a great big gold or silver medal, apparently.
Yes.
And I like how our medals, the card did not specify for the school or anything. It just said gold medal recipient, silver medal recipient, as if we were Olympians.
It said that, yeah.
Oh, it said like the school and everything?
It said the major of the medal you received.
Oh, okay.
Mine just said silver medal.
Silver medal recipient, yeah.
Yeah.
Could be the long jump, anything. Have you put
put
on your resume.
Well, and then also you're gonna have 3 medals because honors.
Oh, I guess so. I'm not gonna wear everything on graduation day, though.
Why not, though? It's the only time you'll ever wear it in your life.
Will it look weird if I have just like 3 medals hanging?
No, dude. People do that all the time.
Okay, I'll see. Are you gonna decorate your cap? I want to decorate my cap.
I don't know. I did it for high school.
Yeah, I don't know what I would do. So
we weren't even supposed to do it.
That's the thing. Like sometimes they're like, "Oh, you can't decorate your cap." It's like, but what are they gonna say? You can't walk? Yeah. Like they're not gonna do anything.
They only
right?
let us do it because of COVID. So they're like, "Yeah, you guys can decorate your cap now."
That makes sense.
It's just like, all right, I guess. Like, thanks.
Yeah. But anyway, shall we get into the hodgepodge, Mike?
Let's do the
goo television.
Goo.
Let's do the do, baby, and let's start off with just a little Letterboxd catch-up, Mikey.
Yeah. Well.
Now, you begin. Now, Mikey has also started a series on this channel, the little monthly wrapped videos, which are quite lovely.
Thank you.
You know, he keeps you up to date on what he's been watching, and with this, we try to keep it moving back and forth. Mikey can take his time, talk about each movie individually.
Yes. So
there's a little, I guess it's a teaser.
Yes, it's a teaser to the April wrap.
Yes.
But I watched just a few notable mentions. I have been watching every Transformers movie.
I saw you started that journey.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
I've only seen the first 2 when I was a kid, and I used to love them. They're not very good.
I've never seen any of them, even like when I was a kid, and like as older now, like I'm like, man, you couldn't pay me to watch one of those things.
Yeah. It was just kind of, I don't even know what started it for me, but it was just kind of like a thing like, yeah, I never finished that franchise, so I guess I'll dive right in. There's something about them, though, where it's like you kind of can't stop watching. I don't know. I don't know if it's because it's so bad or because it's so cool in a way, but...
I will say some of the things I've seen, like, some of the effects do look impressive, and just like the sound design also of like the transforming themselves is impressive.
It can be technically impressive.
Yes, the only compliments I guess I can give the movies. I really don't have any interest beyond that.
It's a movie for the boys.
Bros, yeah. Yeah.
But it's been fun. I think I have like the last of the Wahlberg movies, which is just 2, and then I have like the Bumblebee movie left, which is with John Cena, I think.
Seen multiple movies.
Mark Wahlberg, he's in like 2. He's in 2 of them, and then
my dad has a theory that John Cena is a missing Wahlberg child.
Could be.
He says they look enough alike to him.
Do you think John Cena is his real name? Because like most of them are wrestling names.
I think that's his actual name. I could be wrong though.
Anyway.
Yeah.
And then I have to watch the new like Rise of the Beast one, but apparently that's getting 2 more movies. I don't know.
2?
It's an odd franchise. I do think like they should have stopped after Shia LaBeouf was gone because it was he's like with you know, like the Godzilla movies, how like the humans are very weak.
Yeah.
Shia LaBeouf actually makes the humans pretty interesting and pretty like lovable for a movie like this. Where I guess you can consider it like a Godzilla like kaiju movie with like Transformers and stuff, but even though Transformers are like characters themselves, but the humans are pretty interesting. But when he left, it's still the same universe from when Mark Wahlberg takes over, which is actually pretty daring that they did. They didn't just like reboot it, which is kind of like another part of the story. It's just not as good. I don't know where these new ones come into play. It just loses
a little bit of charm.
Yeah. Anyway, do you have anything you want to mention?
Yeah, we can go back and forth, like 1-1.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. I'll look back into March, like everything since Ricky Stenicki is on the table for me.
Yes.
I'll say I watched a movie, American Splendor, with Paul Giamatti. I had only heard of this movie not too long ago. Apparently, it was his first movie where he's like the leading man. Okay. And it's a different movie. It's very good. I would definitely recommend it. It's a very good Giamatti performance.
Giamatti.
It's based on basically a biopic of this guy, Harvey Pekar, who ended up writing a comic strip that was literally, or a comic book that was literally just his life, and like he like used people's real names, and like if people like did things wrong to him, he just included it in the comic book, and like that person would be upset in real life with him, and then he would write about that, and it was just literally a person's exact life, like in art form, and he was just a very odd guy, and Giamatti plays him, and then the movie itself is gets very strange and existential at points. I'd recommend it. It's like I said, it's different, but very good different.
How old is it?
In 2003 it came out. Yeah.
Interesting.
So, but
what'd you give it?
4 stars.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, it's a good one.
What's it called again?
American Splendor.
American Splendor.
Yes.
Splendid. Another notable one is Roadhouse, the new one.
Yes.
I didn't see the Patrick Swayze one ever.
Neither have I.
Nor am I really terribly interested in it.
I bet it's a fun like 80s time, but
the only Roadhouse I knew.
It's a really good movie. I don't know.
The only Roadhouse I knew coming into this was the Family Guy episode. So I was like, get this guy kicks a lot or something like that.
Yeah.
But anyway, I watched the new one with Jake Gyllenhaal and Conor McGregor. It may be like the worst movie I've seen to date.
I had when I just saw it on you posted on Letterboxd that you watched it and you gave it the rating of
a 0.5 star.
Yeah,
and I believe I said
to see what you had to say.
I believe I said in the comment that this is an embarrassment to everyone involved except for Conor McGregor, because Conor McGregor is kind of just exactly what I would expect. He's like having fun. He's doing his thing.
I did hear somebody say that like they've never seen someone like so clearly like out of place on a movie set than Conor McGregor in this movie. How he's literally just kind of himself lurking around the whole time. Mm-hmm. But like I mean I guess that is like that's what you hired him to do. So it's not like he did anything wrong, but
yeah, it's just like the writing is absolutely like if you want to know what bad writing is and what a bad script is, just watch this. And like every piece of dialogue is just so bad. And like even Jake Gyllenhaal, who's a very amazing actor, he was
he can't save it.
He was bad. He wasn't good.
And who directed this? It was a legit director, wasn't it?
Oh, I have no idea.
What's his face?
I'm gonna have to try.
You look that up. Because I believe it was a legit guy. I know we got mad at them when we moved it to Amazon. Doug Liman. He did Born Identity, Edge of Tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah. Somebody Go is a good movie. He's a good director. So like this is out of character for him to have this big a stinker.
Yeah. Well, I mean like
especially like they got Gyllenhaal in it, like they got talent in there.
Yeah, and I don't know why this doesn't seem like a Gyllenhaal role to me. It's a little odd.
It feels like a Statham role or like a
yeah,
or a Wahlberg role.
Mm-hmm. And it's kind of weird because Patrick Swayze he makes it work so much because he was such a charismatic guy.
Yeah.
Jake Gyllenhaal is absolutely not that.
Gyllenhaal is just like a straight up amazing actor.
Yeah.
Where if he just has to like, I don't know exactly how you put it. He's not just oozing charisma.
He's about as interesting as a blank sheet of paper.
Sometimes, yes.
So, yeah, that was really, really bad.
Real stinker.
So go ahead.
Okay, I watched... I'll do this one quick. I watched Fiddler on the Roof from 1971. very good. It's quite long. I think it's like 3.5 hours.
Oh.
It honestly earns the runtime. What I gave it 4 stars. If I rewatch, I think this could be a 4.5 or a 5. This movie was fantastic. It's one of the best musical movies I've ever seen. And for it to be this long, and for me to like really stay engaged, like it shows how good the story is, how good the songs are. One of the best leading man performances I've seen in musical terms, at least for sure, with Topol. But I mean, it's a really great movie just for anybody. Even if you're not a musical person, I bet you'd like Fiddler on the Roof.
Probably. I think I would enjoy it.
But one I'd like to, I guess, talk a little more about. I watched Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. I see your eyes looking at my rating.
No. I see my eyes looking at another movie.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll get there when we get there.
Okay.
But I watched Dial of Destiny, which I'm a huge Indiana Jones fan. I just ended up not watching it in theaters and not putting it off. It just didn't happen. I wasn't sure how I was going to react to this movie. And I watched it, hoping for the best. And it actually greatly exceeded my expectations.
Okay.
I thought this movie was great. I think this movie it felt like Indiana Jones the whole time to me. Harrison Ford still felt like, in character and in spirit, the movie and the character, it felt like Indiana Jones to me. And I just had a fun time from the very start to the very end. I thought everything tracked enough, and I genuinely think this movie is on par with Temple of Doom. I think Raiders and Last Crusade are the ultras. And then right below them, Temple and Dial of Destiny, honestly, for me, are right there. This is a movie I could watch right now. And it's long and everything, but it has a good villain. Harrison Ford's still really good in the role, and he feels engaged. He feels like he wants to be there. And it has set pieces and globe-trotting, fun action sequences. I came away really with not a lot of complaints from this movie, which I was so surprised when I know the reaction to it was very mixed, and a lot of people really hated it, and it's one I genuinely just don't get. I thought it was a really fun time, and I don't know why people are asking for a lot more. Raiders of the Lost Ark isn't this groundbreaking drama piece or groundbreaking movie. It's just a really fun action movie, and this is what this movie also is.
Yeah. I don't know if I'll ever get maybe I'll get around to it, but I've only even remember Raiders because I saw Raiders recently.
I think you'd like them.
Yeah, I'm sure it's a good time.
Yeah.
But
do you like to go to your next one?
I think okay. I also watched Kingdom of Heaven, Ridley Scott's.
I don't know what this movie is.
Yeah, so it's about the Crusades.
Oh.
And it's well known that you only watch the director's cut, apparently.
Oh, it's one of these, okay.
Yeah, because apparently the theatrical cut was really, really bad.
Mm-hmm.
So I watched the director's cut because why would I want to watch the worst version first?
Yeah. That's what I did with Superman 2. Everyone said the director's cut's much better, so that's the only one I've ever seen.
Yeah. And my dad has always seen it on TV as the theatrical cut. So when I first watched it and I showed it to him again, and even he attested this is a much better movie.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So it's really, really cool. It's a huge epic. It's I think the director's cut is a 3 hour 10 minutes maybe. It's really grandiose and kind of a epic where there's a lot of little moving parts to get a hold of, but it's just a cool story. Great action scenes. Orlando Bloom is the lead.
Interesting.
He's a very weak lead.
Okay.
Where he has zero emotion.
Yeah.
But it kind of works for the character because the character is kind of this very clean cut knight.
Okay. So that was kind of the Legolas problem too. Yeah.
It works for the character, but there's moments that the character has to be a little more than that, where it shows.
And he does enough.
No.
Okay.
That's where it shows where he's not the best choice.
Okay. Fair.
But he's a good-looking man and whatever.
Very handsome man.
Yeah. And then Edward Norton plays the King Baldwin. He's a leper, so he's always wearing a mask. So
oh.
It was kind of
you never actually see him, right?
So people are kind of surprised when they find out that Ed Norton was in the role.
Oh, okay.
And he's amazing. He's a fantastic part. So other than Orlando Bloom, I think everything really comes together really nicely. So
I think that's the only time I've heard about this movie was that there's this movie Edward Norton where people didn't know it was him. And,
yeah.
I don't even know if he was in the credits. He might have been. But
I think
he was okay. But it was one role nobody really knew he was in it. Moving on, I watched a movie called Now and Then. It's a kind of a coming of age movie with four really good child actors. I forget one of them's name, but then Thora Birch, Christina Ricci, and Gabby Hoffman. And then the older versions are played by Melanie Griffith, Demi Moore, Rita Wilson, and Rosie O'Donnell. Mm-hmm. And it's almost the entire movie is the younger versions of the kids. The adults are really only there at the start and at the end of the movie. But this movie's basically just Stand By Me with girls in the atmosphere and spirit. It's not like a ripoff by any means of the plot. But it's a coming-of-age movie, and I gave it 3.5 stars. If I watch it again, it might be a 4. It kind of follows the beats of a coming-of-age movie that you expect it to, and it can be predictable in some ways. But that's a formula I like so much that it didn't really bother me at all.
That should never be a played-out formula, I think.
Yeah, and I think I still find it touching in a lot of moments. And like I said, like all 4 of the kids are really good actors. And when you have convincing kid actors, like that's honestly enough sometimes. I mean, when you can lock into like childhood on film, because a lot of times kid actors obviously aren't that good, so it's hard to make that connection and make a good story about that. But they absolutely kill it. So I would 100% recommend. And it takes place in like the late 60s or something, and a few people pop up, like Brendan Fraser pops up in it, and it's just a really, really good time. And it has Sandlot vibes, Stand By Me vibes, and small town America vibes.
Sounds pretty cool.
It's a very wholesome movie too, and and like with the older version, the older kids too, like at the beginning and at the end, like it's a good kind of way to like dovetail growth and friendship through the years and everything. So it's another movie I highly recommend. And I'm surprised a movie I really hadn't heard about until recently, especially with how it's got some decent star power to it. But yes, highly recommend.
Nice. Before we move on,
yes,
I want to talk about the big year.
Okay. This movie shocked me in so many ways, because what the hell was it trying to be?
I don't know, but it did a pretty great job.
That's the thing. Like you had a review of it that I think surmised it very well. Let me find it. Where is it? I believe you said there's a masterpiece in here somewhere. Yeah. And because the movie tries to be like very dramatic at certain points, and including like Owen Wilson and his wife. And the most like kind of shocking moment of the movie is like Owen Wilson like is gonna go to like help it be at his wife's like the birth of his child, and then he decides not to be because there's a bird, and he leaves. But then she comes home and she's like mad at the nursery, and like they kind of imply that she lost the baby.
Yeah.
And there's no baby, and like it's just and then they almost imply that she was cheating on him with the guy who's fixing up the house. The movie gets really dark and serious at points, like almost soap opera or melodrama. Similar like the stuff with Jack Black and his dad, and he thinks his dad's gonna die in the woods. It was a hard. It's not a hard movie to wrap your head around. It's just a difficult movie to like emotionally feel out what they're trying to do.
I think they did all they needed to do.
I think they do it. There's the thing. I think they do it well. I still gave it 3 stars. It's still a fun time. And like,
it's a great time.
It's also like it's just the movie's about 3 guys who are trying to win this bird watching contest. Who can spot the most birds in a calendar year?
And it's all a code of honor too.
Yeah, it's all in code of honor. Who sees the most? And they're all competing for this, and all 3 of them kind of there's a little bit of rivalry, a little bit of friendship, and they all kind of for the most part are kind of on good terms and acceptance with each other by the end of it, especially Steve Martin and Jack Black. And I mean, Steve Martin and Jack Black almost, you have 3 like really good actors to carry the movie through as well, even when the writing can be kind of all over the place. But yeah, there is a masterpiece in there somewhere, because they take some big emotional swings, and I mean, it never just really detracts from the movie. It can just kind of make you say like, oh, really, huh?
Yeah, and I think each of the characters, even like Owen Wilson, who's like pretty scummy in the movie, you like every character.
Yeah, you don't. It's hard to hate an Owen Wilson character.
Yeah. But yeah, I first watched this movie in my AP Environmental Science class in senior year, because we just did a bird watching field trip. Oh, okay. So we watched this, and I'm like, this is not a bad movie, to be honest. Like, this is pretty good.
Yeah, it's all over the place. Like, it's entertaining regardless.
I don't think it's like, I wouldn't even go as far to say it's all over the place in a bad way. I think it does things like really well.
Yeah, I agree. I wouldn't say it's in a bad way. It's just in a a random way, in a unexpected way.
Yes, it's unexpected for sure.
It's an unpredictable movie. I will tell you that much.
Yeah.
It is an unpredictable movie without a doubt. You do not know where this movie is heading next, and not just the direction of the story, but what story they're going to try to pull out next. So
Yeah.
it's a barn burner right there.
I can't wait for another big year.
Oh, should we do the big year next?
I think we should do a big year.
BT&H big year coming up. Do you have any more? I just have a couple. I have like a stand-up special. I watched A&E's biography on Roman Reigns. They do good. They do good wrestler documentaries. A&E. I recommend those.
When was that made? Was that like for the big reign, or
it came out the night before WrestleMania, I believe, or no, the night before the last Raw before Mania, I believe.
So that kind of made it obvious that it was the time.
A little bit, but I mean, they've done them on active ones before and everything. And
What do they like focus on?
with all the documentaries, they do just focus on like each guy's like his entire life. Like they try to do like a full biography, like his entire career, and they talk about. It is cool how they talk about when like they were just like he could not get over. They pushed him way too much. Yeah. Sometimes it is awkward with like the active wrestlers where like Roman is like sometimes he's like staying in character and sometimes he's not. And so sometimes they'll ask him a question and he's like, well, that's because I'm the GOAT. And it's like that's just the character, that's not him. But and I mean, you get a lot of Paul Heyman stuff, which I mean the more the merrier.
I think that's the only way to push a guy over.
Give him Paul Heyman.
Yeah, if all else fails, give him Paul Heyman.
That makes sense. But Paul Heyman managing LA Knight would be cool. He obviously doesn't need him because he's on the mic, cool, yeah. But I mean, CM Punk didn't need him either, but it was a cool pairing.
Like I think Solo desperately needs him.
Desperately.
If they want to make him like a big piece of the story.
If they want to make him a middle card guy.
Yeah, but I don't even think Solo should be given the time.
Yeah, after we've seen what he can do in the ring, we really just aren't that confident in him.
No, and like promo wise, pretty weak. Anywho, I think that's. I'll keep my lips sealed for anything else for like my upcoming video.
Yeah, which makes sense. Shall we move on to the next the Podge to the Hodge?
Yeah. So we got some news. Tarantino drops his 10th and final film, The Movie Critic.
And from the way they were talking about it, it kind of sounded like he had written it almost fully and like it was happening. I believe they said Brad Pitt was going to be in it.
Yeah, they had most of the cast.
There were rumors Tom Cruise was going to be in the movie. Like it seemed like, because I kept getting updates, like it looked like, oh, by the end of this year they might start filming. Yeah. Like that much was moving forward with this. But and then he just said he's not making it. They also said that Brad Pitt was going to come back and play Cliff Booth from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, because this was going to take place like around the same time period.
Really?
Which at first I was like it was cool. Brad Pitt was going to be back, but I will admit that I would kind of prefer if he made something. He has made radically different movies, so I wouldn't want like his 9th and 10th movie to be kind of in the same world and kind of the same setting. If it takes place same time period in Southern California.
No, I didn't know what The Movie Critic had anything to do with, but it seemed like it would be like a really cool title alone would be a really cool send-off for him.
Yeah, that's the thing. And he's one of the most like ultimate cinephiles that like maybe has ever existed. Like him and Scorsese, and Tarantino I think knows even more like obscure stuff and more modern stuff. But yeah, so it would have been a good send-off. What do you think of the 10 film rule in general that he's put in place for himself?
So I think it's pretty good. I don't see what is wrong with it. I think it, and it even shows that with him dropping The Movie Critic, where limiting himself can just ensure that everything is nice and concise and all good quality. Like he doesn't want to have like a director fall off or whatever. And I think with the 10th film, he's going to be super particular about it. It might be a bunch of years down the line.
Which I don't mind. If we're only getting one more, it doesn't matter to me when it comes out.
So I think this will lead him to really make the best decisions he's ever made. Yeah. So I personally don't think it's a bad rule. Does it maybe confine him? Yeah, a little bit. It could have been like a non-verbal thing. Like he didn't have to publicly say, that's true. I'm having 10 movies. It could have just been like in his own mind, where it almost kind of opens the door for more. Yeah. Yeah. I still like. I'm a fan of it.
Yeah, I like it too, because, like you said, it forced himself to be like, okay, I have to make it count. Especially if this is my last one, like, I have to, like, really make sure, like, this is what I want to do. No matter how long a line in development I may get. Like, this is what I really want to do. So, but yeah, it does almost kind of limit himself in a way, because he's like, what, he's like 60 maybe? Something.
Yeah, I don't know.
So, like, it's very possible he could have just said, oh, I'm going to make the movie critic, and then I'm going to make something else if another idea comes along. But because he has this rule set in place, it's like, oh, no, now I have to make that other movie and forget the movie critic entirely.
Yeah.
Even though it could have been a kick-ass movie.
People are asking for a Kill Bill Volume 3.
People have been asking for that for years, and I really don't have much interest.
Why? How does Volume 2 even end?
She kills Bill.
So why is there Volume 3?
It would be about one of, like, the assassins that the bride kills on the way to Bill. Her daughter would have grown up, and then, like, is a fight between the two of them.
Nah, I'm good on that.
Yeah, which, like, could it be good? Could Tarantino make that movie a good movie? Yes. But that's just kind of a regular action movie plot. It's nothing special, you know? So I've never really had much interest in that for him. And I am interested in what he would do after movies, because he said, like, he'll write film criticism books and stuff, which might be interesting, but I like the idea of, I wish he would write movies and then let other people direct them.
Yeah.
Which I don't think he would do, because I think he did that a couple times in the early 90s with True Romance and Natural Born Killers, and I think he didn't like either movie, so he might, like, just not do that anymore. But he's limiting himself in a good way, I think, so I'll agree with you with that kind of rule.
Yeah.
But anyway. And now, what is this Damien Chazelle news you put up on here?
Yeah, so Chazelle apparently just locked in with Paramount again after Babylon, and he's set to be doing a movie that's all we know is that it's purported to be in prison, take place in prison. I personally, Chazelle's probably my favorite director.
He's one of my favorites.
So I'm very excited. I don't know where this is gonna go with him.
Yeah, do I. Damien Chazelle prison movie is.
Yeah, it's very early on news. Obviously,
yeah.
There's really no reason to even talk about it, but we might as well.
Yeah, and I mean, granted, you know, Damien Chazelle making a movie about Neil Armstrong was also like, what?
Yeah, that's a good point.
So I mean, he does want to probably prove his versatility, which is not a bad thing.
He's already proven his versatility in my eyes.
I think so too. And I guess the most important thing is I'm happy he's with Paramount, and Paramount can still back him after Babylon made no money.
Yeah.
Because I thought Babylon was fantastic.
Yeah, I think.
So I'm happy he still is getting backing.
Me too, because there's a point where you gotta realize it's a marketing problem and not a movie problem.
Yeah.
Where, like, it's a great movie. He should still be given his flowers, and make your amends. And don't let it happen again.
Yeah.
Not that I even necessarily I don't necessarily need his movie to be a billion-dollar grossing movie.
Yeah, I don't need to be this monster hit. I just want them to allow him to keep making good ones.
Yeah, yeah. And I think his track record will show that even after this, if Paramount doesn't want to move forward with him, he can make a movie anywhere.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, he can ride the Whiplash La La Land like that train for a while. A couple Oscar-winning performances, and I mean the cast he got for Babylon. People are still gonna want to work with him. I feel like so. But I'm not sure if I have really any other news. Checking IMDb now. Al Pacino, Dan Stevens to play troubled priests in exorcism horror, The Ritual.
Interesting. I don't know. Apparently, Scorsese is moving forward with this new Jesus movie, and I think he had a couple castings. I think one was Andrew Garfield. I don't remember.
He'd be a good Jesus.
I don't know if this is the movie I want to see Scorsese make right now.
I wouldn't be too excited, but have you seen Last Temptation of Christ?
No, but
I think it's really good, and
what is it? Just about the story of Jesus?
No, it the church did not like the movie because it presents Jesus and the story in kind of a more. They present Jesus in a very human way, and I think he tries to play around with the books that were excluded from the Bible and kind of make that part of the story.
Oh, those spin-off books.
Yes, more or less. But yeah, I think it's really good. Willem Dafoe plays Jesus, so that does still get me excited for if he makes another movie about Jesus, because it's gonna be different. It's not just gonna be like a Bible movie for like a Catholic movie.
Okay.
Like,
I just find it interesting that he's making
it'll be something more
two
interesting.
movies about Jesus.
That is the interesting part, especially at this point in his career. He's like, oh yeah, Jesus movie.
Got to do it again.
But there was other Scorsese news recently that I believe all rumors, probably stuff that may not come to fruition. But yeah, Martin Scorsese eyes Frank Sinatra biopic with DiCaprio.
Oh, yes. I did hear about that one.
Which could be, I mean, it could be very good.
I think they should not focus on the music a lot.
Ooh.
And just about, like, the other stories here.
Yeah, but I would, because Sinatra was an interesting guy. He was the level of famous that like a lot of people really hadn't seen before.
Mm-hmm.
And then and yeah, just an interesting guy. A lot of good stuff, some bad stuff here and there. Stuck up for Sammy Davis when like black artists weren't allowed a lot of places. He always stuck up for him. Same with Quincy Jones, I believe. The only thing is DiCaprio was a little older, so it would just be a period of Sinatra's life, I'm guessing, when Sinatra was maybe on the comeback or whatever. But I think you would run into the same problem you would run into with the Elvis biopic in some ways, where, like, say, Bohemian Rhapsody, they show his life and what, like, his life led to the music. Elvis and Sinatra didn't really write any of their songs, so their life and the music are kind of separated in a strange way, but still, it's Scorsese, and, DiCaprio could still probably play him very well at that age. Like, if they're just sticking with 50s and on Sinatra, which I bet there's still enough interesting stuff to do, but who knows?
I just don't know. It's quite a oversaturated market with these just musical biopics. So, and considering it's Scorsese and it's DiCaprio, I don't know how interested they would be in... I don't know how well DiCaprio sings. I don't know how interested Scorsese would be in making just these just cookie-cutter... music bio. Like, I think regardless it'll be different no matter what they do compared to other ones, but I don't think they should do music even at all, maybe.
Yeah, I agree that they're kind of beyond it, because there's still a formula they kind of have to follow, even if they want to do something very different, just because not just what's expected of them, but just how to make the movie work about a musician. Like, it has to kind of follow somewhat of a formula. But I don't know if Leo, like, really... It seems like a strange role for him to want to do, honestly, because I feel like he wants to do, like, smaller roles and, like, more interesting characters, and just not someone who's incredibly well-known, I guess is the point.
So this is, like, I think 3 total rumored Scorsese movies now.
Let me look at his IMDb. He has had a few, dude.
I don't know,
for a while.
Including the Wager movie, the same author of... It's the same author of Killers of the Flower Moon, and he already went on. Scorsese already went on record that him and DiCaprio are going to work on that as a movie.
I do like how, with this planning ahead with all these movies, Scorsese is really planning on living forever, which I'm very happy to hear. He has no intention to slow down, which is honestly what I want to see from him. Yeah, so he has 5. Okay, that's documentary. Roosevelt has been on there for years. It's supposed to be a biopic about Teddy Roosevelt with DiCaprio, which could be very good. He lived an interesting life, but again, it feels like they're kind of beyond just a biopic about an incredibly famous person already.
I think the whole movie industry is beyond that.
Yeah, that's true.
Like,
we've seen just about everything we need to see.
Yeah.
And especially when, like, the last 15, 20 years, we've seen, like, documentaries grow more and more popular. Like, people just don't have the appetite for biopics, I don't think, anymore, when there's going to be some stuff that's changed and moved around, when you can just get the real story in a doc. But Life of Jesus...
I'm happy Oppenheimer exists, but go on.
Yeah, well, Oppie was a different case.
When you make a movie that good, it doesn't really matter.
No, it doesn't. Gangs of New York's TV show, and then The Wager thing here. So technically, The Wager, Life of Jesus, Roosevelt, and this potential Sinatra movie. So that's 5 more movies Scorsese plans to make at the... age of...
Was he like
82 he's going to be this year. He's still very energetic. Like, he can be directing movies at 90.
Yes, I can question, like, how often is a director, like, needed on set?
I mean, I
Like
bet
once
there's...
he writes these things too, right? Or no?
I think he's like a part of it where he'll like
Okay.
write the screenplay.
Once like the writing is done, I don't know how like active he's on set.
Yeah, I mean, they could work his schedule around where he just has to be there for, like, when main actors are there for their scenes, like exteriors, and and at this point in his career, like, I bet he has people he can say, costuming, I trust you, lighting, I trust you, and just let them go so he doesn't need to like have the most intense pre-production every single time.
And especially because 2 of these are already reported with the same lead actor. I don't know how much DiCaprio's going to be on.
And DiCaprio makes one movie like every 5 years.
And I bet you, if Roosevelt does happen, it's DiCaprio.
I bet, yeah. I bet both this and the Sinatra movie, like, I bet like he wants to make these movies, but only with Leo.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Because he's at that point where like I only picture him in the role, and which is what Tarantino did a lot of times too, where you can only picture certain people in the role or found a role uncastable, that kind of thing. But no, we love Marty, and we hope he keeps pumping them out to the bitter end.
Marty Moo.
The greatest Italian-American filmmaker of all time.
Yes. I think it's a really cool position that a lot of these older directors are in now. Like Martin Scorsese doing really just whatever he wants at this point.
Yeah.
Francis Ford Coppola is making like this really weird Megalopolis movie.
Yeah, let me see if there's any thoughts on that.
And Ridley Scott is in a very strange part of his career.
Ridley Scott, for like the last 30 years, has been making whatever movie he feels like making.
Like
that dude does whatever he wants.
Napoleon that came out, Gladiator 2 is just like...
Gladiator 2.
I find that I don't know how I feel about Gladiator 2. I'm certainly going to watch it. I think it'll be cool, but how the idea came about, I don't know.
But yeah, Megalopolis, expected initial release next month, potentially. Maybe
no way.
I think that's just at a
like a screening
festival. Film festival.
But I heard apparently it's not scheduled for any festivals right now.
Oh really? Oh, I'm not sure what that is then.
So I don't know. But apparently there's a reported scene where the audience has to interact with the movie. I don't know what that means, but it seems like an usher when you're at the theater would have to walk in and like speak to the movie. But like imagine like it's like a random midday Tuesday and there's one person in the theater and this guy got to walk in and do what he has to do for him and walk out.
And I do like how, Coppola at his age, I mean, I don't even know the last time he made a movie, honestly. And the last time it's been a while since he had one that people really resonated with anybody. So, the fact like we hear stuff like that he's like trying like kind of radically different stuff and still trying to kind of
I'm telling you,
push the envelope.
They're probably the most experimental directors right now. These older guys.
Yeah, literally.
They're veterans of the industry.
Yeah. But that, like, I think that's why like we love guys like Denis Villeneuve, because he shows us things, it does things that we don't expect to make complex movies. And Damien Chazelle will take a risk with a movie like Babylon that is just such an epic in a way that you wouldn't expect.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure if there's any other movie news I can dive into. What are you thinking?
I don't know.
Throw a couple Letterboxd in there?
Yeah.
Guessing you?
Go ahead on that.
Okay.
But
we'll do a little 20 questions.
20 questions.
I will find a movie on Mikey's Letterboxd, and then he will go 20 questions, try to figure out what the film is.
I'm really bad at this.
We did this before. Well, I did give him one that was way too tough last time. I gave him, the first one I gave you was The Maze Runner or something, which was a little bit much, I will admit.
Yes, that was too cool.
Let's see. M. Frieri, where are you? Boo. And the film should be residing right in between the two of us, if I'm not mistaken. And
what do you mean?
Like right here. The film would be probably on the screen.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. The pic poster? All right.
Yeah. Recording. Probably gonna try to go like 15 to 20 minutes more, probably. Let's see. I will try to find. Did he just walk out?
I think so.
The fuck was that?
I don't know.
Okay. I know what movie I got. Okay. Fire questions away whenever you're ready.
Okay. This century?
This century, yes.
Okay. This decade.
No.
If I'm lucky. God dang. Okay. 2000s.
No.
Okay. Is this animated?
No. I forgot to count. I think that's 4.
Animated. Is it a franchise?
No.
Is it owned by a big company?
I'll go, I don't know.
Okay, so
It's not like a IP.
like a
property
Disney or
thing.
something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Not a franchise. So it's just like a standalone movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Renowned auteur.
No.
Okay. Is the average user rating more or less 3?
It's 3 on the dot. 3.0.
Oh, shoot. Did I just recently see this movie?
You saw it. Yeah, you did recently see this movie.
Is it a renowned lead actor?
Yeah, I would say.
Is it a comedy?
Yeah.
Is it That's My Boy?
No.
Ah! Is it Sandler? Or...
No. 8 left.
3.0. It's Ricky Stenicki. No, because it's not this decade.
No.
Crap. I know Ricky Stenicki's like a solid. I think Ricky
That's around
Stenicki
there, probably.
has like the most perfect bell curve out of every rated movie.
This movie is pretty close to having a curve like that.
Okay.
7 left.
Wow. Trying to think of comedies I've seen. Oh. Is it The Big Year?
It's The Big Year.
Well done. Well done. All right.
All right. You have one to fire at me?
I'm trying to find... Because I think I can shuffle on...
Okay. Yeah, angle that away.
Angle it away.
Hello, pioneers.
Go Nears.
Go Nears.
Go Nears.
It's a lovely April day, which you folks must know.
Where is that shuffle button? I remember
When
there
this-
being a shuffle button.
I think it might have only been on the app. I can't remember.
No, I remember being on
Oh, it
here
was? Oh, okay.
instead.
I must be mistaken.
Sort by... Oh, shuffle.
Souffle.
Let me see if there's anything that really catches my eye here.
If this catches your eye.
Okay. I gotcha.
Okay. This century.
No.
Between 1980 and 2000.
Yes.
90s.
Yes. I like the range question. That was pretty solid.
Thank you. Is it a comedy?
No, not particularly.
Okay. How many questions am I at? Is that
4.
4. Okay. Not particularly. Okay. A renowned auteur.
Yes.
Renowned auteur.
Yes.
I'm gonna say not particularly a comedy though. I'm gonna guess was it between 90 and 95.
Yes.
Was between 90 and 95. Renowned auteur, not particularly a comedy. Was it a? I'm trying to think the other genre it might have been. Is it mostly an action movie?
No.
Mostly a crime movie?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't really know how.
Okay, I'll stay away from the genre then. If it's a kind of a muddled one.
Let me see what they list the genre as. Yeah, crime. Crime.
Is it Scorsese?
No.
Is it Coppola?
No.
Thought it might be Godfather 3 for a second.
I know like 3 Coppola movies. 4.
Let's look. Between 90 and 95, renowned auteur. Crime is in the description. Did I give this movie 4 or higher?
Hold on.
Good.
Where the hell are you here?
I might narrow it down. If I thought it was really, really good. I can't fathom though.
I think he was in there when we said that.
Said what?
What the fuck was that?
No, I think he left after that. He just came back in like the last 2 minutes.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. I don't care at this point. Oh, well, you just angled it to
me. Oh,
no! Pick another one. It was Pulp Fiction, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, why'd you look?
Apologies. That's a good one, because that one actually would be tough to get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pulp Fiction, yeah. That would, because any, like, actors, like, I wouldn't really come close to getting, I feel like.
I am... For some reason, it doesn't show me what you scored these movies.
Oh, really?
Okay. All right, I got it.
You got one? Okay.
Go ahead, resume.
Okay. This century.
Yes.
2000s.
No.
2010s.
Yes.
First half of the 2010s.
No.
Okay. All right, 2015 through 2019. Is it a franchise movie? Is it part of something big?
No.
Renowned auteur.
Yes.
Is it? Did I give it a 4 or higher?
Yes.
Did I give it higher than a 4?
No.
So I gave it a 4.
I'm going to say you're at like 6 questions. I don't know.
Oh, okay. That sounds right. Okay. I gave it a 4. 4 stars. For second half of the 2010s. Standalone movie. Is it a comedy?
Yes.
I'm going to take a big swing. Is it Jojo Rabbit?
No.
Oh.
What the hell?
Did I ask about the genre?
You asked if it was a comedy.
And you said...
I said yes.
And you said yes. Okay, sorry. Comedy that came out between... Is it Good Boys?
No.
Comedy between then and then. Is it Sandler?
No.
Is it anyone from the Sandler gang?
No. You're going in the wrong direction.
Damn it. Is it an American movie?
Yeah.
It is, okay. I was trying to think as far away from Sandler as I could. Like, is it a British movie or something? Oh, jeez, Lou. Oh, this is hard. Not part of a franchise. Comedy. Came out between 2015 and 2019. Does it have a renowned comedic lead in it?
Yes.
Is this lead known for doing comedies, or more so all kinds of things?
All kinds of things, but comedy is also a big part of what they do.
Comedy's a big part of what they do. Is it a male lead?
Yes. You're at 15.
Oh, jeez, low. All right, I got to start thinking year by year. 2015, 2016, 2017. Comedy that came out between those years.
Renowned auteur. Renowned lead
auteur.
actor.
Renowned
Comedy.
auteur. A comedy.
2018.
What did you say?
It's 2018.
Oh! All right, 2018. Auteurs that came out with movies in 2018. An auteur that made a comedy. That's all I'm stumbling on right now.
Okay. Damn, I see too much.
2018. So like, it's not. Like, I don't even know. It's not. I don't think Spielberg came out with anything in 2018. I don't think like Scorsese came out with anything really. If he did, it wasn't a comedy. He came out with Silence in 2017. He didn't come out with anything the next year, I don't think.
Jesus, this guy is an encyclopedia.
Not enough. I don't know what this movie is. Just trying to think out loud at this point. 2018, this movie came out. What else did I see that year? I saw Infinity War that year, and I also went to go see some Mary Poppins Returns that year, but I'm guessing that is not the movie. That's not a question. And I gave it 4 stars.
You're gonna need to ask more questions.
I know.
Man. Like,
I'm just trying to. What do I even ask? I feel like I should have all the clues right now.
you don't.
Does the movie take place in a city?
It's a good question, and I don't know how to answer it.
Are there several locations to the movie?
Yes, and one of them is a city.
One of them is a city. Several
It
locations.
doesn't help much, though.
No, it doesn't. That's a lot of movies. That's a lot of movies right there. Not Sandler Gang. Because the one thing I
You're
can think
going in the wrong direction.
I actually said not. I know what I don't know what I'm doing.
But you shouldn't even be thinking about. Okay.
Renowned auteur.
You have 4 more questions.
4 more. Oh my god! I'm sorry. I'm dragging this out. I'm just trying to think of what the hell this movie could be. Have you seen the movie?
Yes. 3 more questions.
That's a stupid one to ask.
That was very stupid.
Is the movie connected in any way to a holiday?
No.
No. Okay. 2018. Oh my god. Renowned auteur. Did this auteur start making movies this century?
No.
No. Okay. So the fella goes back. 2018 comedy. Good lord. 2 left.
Come on, Ryan.
Man.
Come on, Ryan.
I'm just gonna start. I'm just gonna have to guess. Just something random. Is the movie rated R?
No.
It's not rated R. Man, I have no idea. Is it I can't even think of shit that came out in 2018. Is it 2018? Is it John Wick 2?
It's a comedy.
I just want to end this.
You want me to kind of just say it?
Yeah.
It's Isle of Dogs.
Oh!
That's what I'm saying. You're going in the wrong direction with the Sandlers. Like I'm guessing comedy threw you off a lot.
A little bit, but still. I almost asked in like the first 10, is it animated? But
That's
felt...
usually one of our first questions, too.
When I got on comedy, I think I wasn't thinking also a kid's movie. Oh, Isle of Dogs, that is a good one. All right. We got a couple in. I think we should call it there.
Yeah, I guess so. Since we're being rushed.
Yeah, I feel like, Yeah. don't come here if you don't want to be interrupted in the podcast. I guess.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, this
thank
is
you,
the last time.
Yeah, this
Wasn't a good one.
This
but-
this could very possibly be the last time in the podcast suite. More likely will be because this place will probably not be open senior week when I am back. So, the next time you see us, we might be outdoors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's 50th coming up.
So, as we bid farewell to the podcast suite, my name has been Ryan McNeil.
Michael Frieri.
And we'd like to wish all of you, one last time through these crisp microphones, a very Heidi.